It started with my 86-year-old student that I taught for about 17 years. He just came out with it, and he was an officer in the military and all that. He goes, guys who don't dance are cowards.
Hey, it's Patricia, Cure for Two Left Feet, and around here, we're all about dance and freedom in life. So let's dance and explore on what life can be like when you can live it on your own terms.
JT, you don't know how I wanted to say that out loud for a long time, and I'm glad you're the one who did. So it kind of started this idea of, I would love to interview 5 to 10 of my guy students and past students to see, and you guys would be an inspiration to other guys, to have them help them have more courage and, to be able to dance with their girlfriends or their wives. And so, yeah, you came to mind because, yeah, I can hardly wait to get into these questions because I don't think I know the answers to all of them. I just know that you've been at it for a while. And tell me where you're from and how did you get to Nashville?
Uh, I'm Chad Wrye. I'm originally from Macon, Georgia. I moved to Nashville in 1996. Came for college. Went to Trevecca Nazarene University.
I went to Trevecca.
Really? I
Yes,
didn't know that.
yes. I mean, I've been teaching part-time since I was 18. So when I went, and I grew up Nazarene, believe it or not.
Really?
Did you grow up? How did you grow up? Were you
I actually grew up Independent Baptist.
okay? Now, do they
So
allow
I was not
dancing?
Nazarene. They did not. I grew up
Okay.
not being allowed to dance.
Yes, yes. When we moved from Korea, my mom loved this one minister. He was very liberal. However, he was Nazarene, so the church was more strict than he was, if that made sense. So as I
Mhm.
grew up in the Nazarene church, I couldn't tell you how many times some of the congregants would tell me I'm going to hell because I'm dancing. And so I would come home crying, and my mom would say, it's okay, it's up here, it's what your intentions are. They're thinking sexual whatever, and we're thinking it's more about dance. And then going to Trevecca, it was funny back then. So you went to Trevecca 96, then 97?
96 to 2000.
Okay, okay. And did they have scouts that came out to dance clubs and movies to try to catch you?
Not anymore. I heard about that, but they stopped doing that before I went there. Because actually, when I went there, the Nazarene Church had changed their rule and allowed dancing again. So it wasn't off limits anymore. The funny thing is now, so even though they allowed it, it's still kind of a taboo thing. So it wasn't something that was really done. But now there's actually a professor at Trevecca who is a dancer, and he teaches dance classes at Trevecca. So it's changed a
Yeah.
lot.
Another person that's helped with that is Dave Wallace. He started, yeah, around, I want to say like 96, 97. He started doing group classes. He rented out some rooms on Trevecca. I forget if it was in the towers or what.
I think it was
And
the towers.
yeah,
Yeah,
is that
because
who you're talking about? Or is there another professor?
there's a different professor. I just heard about him this about a month ago, so he's newer.
Okay. Yeah. And another thing that happened is my accountant, her assistant just graduated from Trevecca. And she and I talked for the first time. She went to Trevecca, she's Latino, and she was the president of the international club at Trevecca. And she used to put on salsa dance events at Trevecca. And
That's awesome.
I was like, you're my hero. Are you serious? So yeah, I'm glad the Nazarene Church, I've heard that in their bylaws, they've updated it saying that it's okay to waltz and salsa and do a couple of swing dance and stuff like that. So yeah. So what did you go to school to Trevecca for?
I was a business major.
Okay.
I actually triple majored, uh, business administration, accounting, and computer information systems. And then
Yeah.
graduated in 2000.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So I'm so glad you decided to stay in Nashville.
Yeah. I'm glad I did too. It's been a good experience.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, as far as your occupation, what was your trade? What do you still do?
Well, I spent 3 years working as a programmer and I hated it. Um, so I went to grad school at MTSU, Murfreesboro, got a master's degree in industrial organizational psychology. Um, and then I've been working as statistician, a research analyst ever since. And that's what I do now. I do customer reporting lead. So I do research and reporting for a healthcare company that does surveys for hospitals.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I could tell you had a wicked smart mind. It's like I love teaching minds like that. It's like they really take the information and dissect it and put it into action. Now, as far as fun, what did you do for fun? Did you play sports? Did you play an instrument?
Neither really. At Trevecca, I just had a very diverse interests. I was a student government, so I was involved in everything. I went to lots of games, not because I was into sports, just because it was a social thing for me. I participated in all kinds of activities. Um, and you know, After I graduated, it was kind of a thing where there's this big hole in my social life. All the things I like doing involved college, and I wasn't at college anymore. I kind of looked around to discover things for a while before I eventually did find dancing, and that's kind of been my main hobby ever since.
Yes, so I'm about to get into that. So, how did you get into dancing? What made you say, okay? Because I'm with you. I think people who partner dance are just a higher quality of people than people who go to a club and booty grind. You know what I mean? So, okay, so what got you into
Um,
dance?
so the year after I graduated from Trevecca, from college, I had a couple of roommates, and one of them got into swing dancing first, and he kept trying to persuade me and my and the other roommate to get into it. And I kind of was interested in dancing. It looked cool. I just didn't think I'd be very good at it. Um, but I went to a couple of things with him and kind of just looked at it, but didn't really get into it. But about a year after I graduated, I went to a social event that was put on by National Swing Kids, which was a swing dance group at the time, and just kind of met the people and it kind of seemed like a good social group to be involved with. And of course, if I want to be hang out with these people, then I have to learn how to swing dance. So start taking dance classes and just learning more about it, mainly just as a social thing. And over time, I got interested in the dancing itself. So I kept learning more and kept getting more involved.
And blast from the past, I still have my shirt from the National Swing Kids and it has my name on the side.
Really?
I still, yes, I do. Yes. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, that's when the National Swing Kids were big. And at the time, my dance partner, I think, was Luke. And there's Susan. Okay, so who was your first dance teacher? And I know that you've studied with many, many teachers. That's why you're such an amazing dancer now. So who are some of your teachers?
You were my first professional teacher. Like there were like I took classes like at the Knowles Center, like the class before the dance, the free lesson. Um, so I took classes there, but as far as actually professional instructor, you were my first one. And it was
Oh,
at
I'm
the
glad
Franklin
I was
Red
your
Center.
first.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this. I know you were kind enough to perform on a dance team with three of my blind students. We did it at like a church homecoming. And besides that, when did you actually started getting into performance? And how long after when you started learning how to dance that somebody talked you into performing?
I don't remember exactly. I remember I was on a performance group with Will Reese. He taught in Nashville for a while, the
Yes.
Lindy Hop instructor. Um, I remember my first ever performance was it was like a custom version of the Big Apple, which is a jazz routine. We performed it at a
Mhm.
dance workshop, and I was on a team with him about 15 years ago. We performed at an event. Um, so I've been performing for a while, and I was on the national jitterbugs performance team as well for several years when we competed.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I like seeing people push out of their comfort zones and do it. It's a rush, isn't it?
yeah, it's an amazing feeling. You just get a lot of energy from the audience, and there's there's spotlights on you, and you just feel everyone admiring what you're doing. And I just love being there and letting people see what I do and see how much I love what I do.
Mentally, what do you think it's done for your mind since you started dancing? Do you
Really helps me like clear my head. So when I'm dancing, it's that's what I'm focusing on. It's everything else, all my other problems in the world just kind of disappear. It's I can enjoy being in the moment, just me, the music, dance partner, and just feeling what's going on and enjoying what I'm doing right now. It's a stress reliever, and it helps me just let all my worries go away just for a few minutes.
Okay, yes, I hear you. I tell my students, use it as a stress reliever. Physically and socially, how has it helped you? Blessed you?
I have made so many friends for the dance community. It's been probably my main social group for the past 20 years in one way or
Mm.
another. And many of them have been long lasting. And even the ones who aren't, everyone that I've met through dancing has had an impact on my life in one way or another. And I really appreciate that. And it's been great having a group that I know I can have something in common with no matter where I am in my life or where I am in the country. There's always going to be dancers, and I can always relate to them because of that.
Yes, that was going to lead to my next question. Traveling. Tell me some of your experiences within the country, outside the country, and
I haven't had as much time to travel in recent years, but it used to be something I would do all the time. I would go to I don't know, 5 or 6 dance workshops a year, wherever I can. Mostly in the Southeast, but I've gone to a few in other places. I went to a workshop in Washington State. I've gone dancing in California. I haven't had the chance to dance out of the country yet. It'd be great to be able to, but just haven't had the opportunity. But I've been to many dance workshops, competitions, just social events all over the Southeast. Uh,
Mhm.
and traveling is just a great experience.
And I get testimonials of I got one of a couple. They now have 7, 8-year-old kids. However, they reached out to me. They were on the beach and somebody had some salsa music on and they just started dancing right there on the beach. The memory, the life experience of that. Now, what has been
Actually,
go ahead.
now that I think about it, there was one time after a dance, we went to Waffle House, and the Waffle House played some swing music that was danceable. So we just started dancing in the middle of the Waffle House, and everyone was watching us. It was hilarious. We were just being goofy, but it was so much fun.
Yes, yes, I love that. I hands down, I believe people who dance have more fun out of life than people who don't. Any memorable experiences that really come out like, wow, top 2 memorable experiences, top 1, whatever you'd want to share.
Probably my best dance experience of all time was dancing on stage at the Ryman Auditorium to Postmodern Jukebox. It was they brought us on for their final song, and it was awesome. It was
Yes,
definitely a highlight because they're a pretty well-known group, and they're very big. So dancing at the Ryman with them, that was just
heck,
awesome.
heck yeah, heck yeah. Do you have a video of that?
There's no video, unfortunately, not that I've found. There's only a group photo of us on stage afterwards.
Oh, the coward statement. I know it's a strong word. How do you feel about that word? And how would you help a guy or a lead overcome that? Please tell me your thoughts on it. If you use a different word, go ahead.
Well, everyone has their own anxieties, and I don't want to fault anyone for that. So I wouldn't call someone a coward for not wanting to dance. You know, everyone has their own interests as well, and if there's something else that suits them instead, that's fine. But I definitely encourage people to give it a try, and just do your best. Try to find some support, people who will support you, and um, if you have your own anxieties, and um, just try it out, and people will be supportive. People will help you out, and it'll be a lot easier than you think. And it is a great experience if you want to give it a try.
Awesome. And how many styles of dance do you know?
As far as
Go
like
ahead.
actually having studied and like practiced and gotten reasonably good at, see, I say Lindy Hop, Balboa, Blues, Brazilian Zouk, and West Coast Swing. So that's five. But I've like taken classes in many more, so I like know the basics of I don't know how many dances.
Yeah, yeah, single time swing, triple time swing. You probably know a little bit of waltz.
I can do a little bit of waltz, a little bit of cha-cha, a little bit of salsa, some bachata, um, and like there are a few like other swing dances like boogie woogie, Peabody, collegiate shag, St. Louis shag. Um, Probably a few more that I'm missing, but
Yeah,
that gets the bulk of it.
yeah. And what's your favorite?
My favorite, I would say, is still Lindy Hop. It's the one that I spend the most time on. I get the most energy from it. But there are lots of dances that I love. But Lindy Hop was the one that I come back to.
Okay, what do you think is the biggest challenge in learning?
Starting out, there's this feeling that you have to learn all these moves in order to have a good dance. So you kind of hit a plateau where you learn the basics and maybe get pretty good at it, but then you don't really know what else to do after that. And that's kind of been my struggle that I reach a plateau where I don't know where to go from there. And then it's just a matter of just sticking with it. Get past that. Eventually, you learn enough that you can enjoy it, and you also learn that it's not just about moves. There's a lot more to dancing than just doing moves. And once
Yes,
you get past that point, you enjoy it so much more.
but your first plateau hits like around 90 days. And around that 90 days, I remember thinking, have I been taking lessons for the past 3 months or not? I mean, it feels like I'm really bad today. And my coach said, yes, that's your plateau. When you know it seems like everything is just going wrong. It's like all this training that you've been doing just freaking out the window. If you know the plateau's there, then you know just to say, oh, I'm on a plateau, and that's not a day to learn. That's just a day to really have fun. Not personal. It's just being a human being. We all hit that plateau. It's okay. Then we go to that next plateau. And I don't care if you're a pro or amateur or anything, we all hit our plateaus. Having people like you in my life, and just, when we reflect, we're going to be more seniors next time. We reflect on our lives, on our life, and we think of the people that we're just grateful that brought happiness to our lives. You're definitely on that list of mine.
And thank you.
Yes. And
It's definitely been great having you as a teacher and get me started with all this too.
yes, yes, I love seeing you fly. And are you dating anybody right now? I
I
don't think.
am.
Okay,
Yeah.
is she a dancer?
She is not a dancer. She's wanting to learn, but uh, hopefully we'll get there one day.
When I was first a teacher, of course, I wanted that guy that knew how to dance. However, it's like over the years, it's like, I just want a guy that's willing to get up and sway with me. I don't care if he knows Lindy Hop or salsa or whatever. And with her, it's like all she needs is like, if she's not into it, just some following techniques to where you guys can just sway or whatever. And whenever you want the really good Lindy Hop, then you can dance with Susan or something. You know what I mean? Because that's what I told my boyfriend. I go, listen, just sway with me. If I want a really good salsa, I have my dance partners in place. You don't have to. It's like I know 20 plus styles. What? It's like take the
Mhm.
pressure off yourself. You don't have to learn. So, okay, cool. Well, I look forward to meeting her sometime. Now, is there anything else you'd like to share before we hop off?
Um, Not much. Just dancing has been a great part of my life. It's given me a great outlet. It's been a big part of my social life, and it's really changed me for the better. And I definitely appreciate what it's done, and I look forward to doing more of it as long as I can.